All right, what is going on, guys? It is Akram back out with another YouTube video featuring the biggest AB and Tig. You guys want to say what's up?
What's up, guys? AB here. How y'all doing? So we about to do a little psychology video for you guys, talking about 3 things that made us profitable. So yeah,
Kept us profitable.
yeah, kept us profitable. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start off with Tig. You want to go first?
It's your video.
All right. So a lot of people make videos on like how to turn profitable or what made them profitable in trading. But no one's really talking about like what's actually kept them profitable for the long term, right? Because you don't start trading just to make a quick dollar and then quit, right? You're trying to make it into a career and have longevity and consistency long term. So with trading, it's very weird. It's one of the only careers that you get paid based on the things that you don't do. So for me, what's kept me profitable in the long term is just like avoiding setups that don't have a clear draw on liquidity, and just avoiding like doing shit that I know my future self wouldn't want to do, or like I wouldn't want to see my future self doing, like for instance trading Asia, revenge trading, stuff like that. So what's kept me profitable is literally just like avoiding forcing shit setups that don't actually have a draw on liquidity, they don't have really a narrative, and I'm just taking a trade just because I want to. And then yeah, just avoiding low prop setups and low prop conditions as well. So like for me, those of you who know what Forex Factory is, it shows me what days have news and what days don't. And they're super high impact the USD news towards NASDAQ. So if we don't have news, for instance, I'll avoid those days because it's low prop conditions with my strat. So instead of just trying to take a trade every day, because you guys think that, oh, to make money, I have to take a trade every single day, I just avoid the low prop conditions, because if it's low prop, I'm probably going to end up losing, and I don't have confidence in that day anyways. So just completely avoid it altogether. And so looking back at it, like, bro, that's really what's kept me profitable, because back then I didn't give a fuck about any of that. I wanted to trade Asia, I wanted to trade London, I wanted to trade low prop conditions, high prop conditions. I didn't care, and obviously I wasn't making money. So the difference is literally just that. So basically just acting like who my future self wanted to be right now. So you guys have to ask yourself, if you're trading Asia right now and gambling and revenge trading and doing all this bullshit and doing shit that you know you're not supposed to, ask yourself, do you want your future self to be doing that? Because if you keep it up, I mean, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you keep doing that shit, give it 2 years, 3 years, you're still going to be doing that shit. So that's really what's kept me profitable, I'd say.
All right. What's up, guys? As you know, I'm Tig, so I'll just be mentioning the most important part that not many people talk about. So in my opinion, risk management is like one of the most important things that like not everyone pays attention on, because that's where people get greedy and they try to like over risk on their trades, because they see other people get like such high P&L trades and then all that, and then they try to do the same, but their account balance is way different. And when you over risk, you just go back to zero, and you just always blame yourself and think it's like your strategy, but it's not the strategy. It's just like your mental part with over risking. And that's like the main thing that I used to struggle with, is like full porting as soon as I get to the express, because especially after like one loss, I would just do the most stupidest things ever, and that's just
Crash
like
out.
Yeah, exactly, just crashing out over the stupidest things. And just like, and being patient, like everything comes like with patience as well. Like it's not just one thing that causes that, but like the main thing is when you just get greedy and over leverage just because you see other people with success. And
So for
that's
you,
just like,
how are you like staying profitable with like risk management? Like,
yeah, the most staying profitable, like after like the payouts, I just kind of like go back to my own like leverage that I'm supposed to be using, because like if it's a fresh account, I'm obviously not going to be going like 3 to 5 minis.
Yeah.
Like I have like my own like whole scaling plan, and a lot of people don't follow it because they're greedy and they just try to rush the process, and every time you rush, it just doesn't end well, and it's not a coincidence. So that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really just a short topic.
Fair enough.
Just gonna take.
That's a good point. Risk management's super important, guys. If you literally just like a main problem with my students, they'll tell me like, yo, I'm really experiencing FOMO in the markets right now. I'm really experiencing greed. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix this. Like, I really want to make money. Simple fix to this, guys. If you're really emotional on the charts, Let's say you just got on Express or you're just about to pass your eval, dude, just lower your size. Like literally, just cut your size in half, and the half of your problems are fixed. You stop over FOMOing into trades. You stop over leveraging. You stop doing all the bullshit. If you just cut your size in half, because then you realize, oh well, these trades don't really matter. I'm not gonna lose that much. I don't really care. And when you trade careless, you actually start making better decisions. So, well, not careless, but like, but like when you don't care, when you're not super, when you're not, when you're detached is what I'm saying.
Right.
Then you just make better decisions. But, there you go.
So one thing that I want to talk about, as you guys all know, trading is all about collecting data, right? You're acting based off of data-driven decisions. So obviously you can backtest, you collect data, and you understand how your strategy works. But to keep it working, right, to understand how it's still working as your trading over time goes, you can't just keep backtesting. So what do you need to do? You need to be journaling your trades. And that's one thing that's kept me profitable for the last 2 years, and that's one thing that I've actually focused on since January onwards of this year. Because I know a lot of you guys journal, but I don't think you guys journal the right way. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about like the proper way to journal and the actual the process and the beauty and the art of actually journaling. So whenever I used to journal initially, like back in 2024, the mistake that I would make was, just inputting, screenshots of my trades, filling out all the data if it was a win or a loss, whatever it may be. But there were just a couple of things that I would always miss. If I took a trade that didn't fit my model, I wouldn't journal it. If I gambled that day, if I crashed out, if I blew my accounts, I wouldn't journal any of that. And that adds up, right? Because it builds this kind of like false sense of security, or this false thought, like these false thoughts in your mind where you look at your journal and then you see, oh, my win rate is this, right? Maybe I have like a 70% win rate. Well, no, you don't have a 70% win rate because you're not you're not journaling every single trade that you're taking, right? Even if it fits your model, doesn't fit your model, if it was a revenge trade, over trading day, whatever it may be, if you're not journaling it, how are you actually able to understand the progress that you're making? So what I did, I not only just like rewired my trading from like the start of this year, but I also rewired my entire journaling process. So what I do right after I take a trade, right? I do the typical, just take a screenshot of your trade, put it into my Notion journal, fill it out. I put the stats, the win rate, risk to reward, if it was a win or a loss. And then I talk about my emotions, right? So how I was feeling before I was in the trade, right? How I was feeling about current market conditions, what I was feeling when I was in the trade, and how I was feeling after I took the trade, right? What I could have done better if there was anything to improve on, right? Because if it was a statistical loss, obviously you can't do anything about it. But if it was a day maybe where I revenge trade or crash out, do something stupid, I would put that in my journal section. I put it in the comments section. And after that, right, since I'm in college, after I take my trade, I'm basically, I guess, done for that period. So I take this time to detach from the charts. So I go to my classes. I don't even think about the trade that I took in the morning. I don't think about it at all. I just go on with my classes, do whatever I need to do within the day. And then after my classes are over, right when I'm about to go to bed, or right when I have some free time, I hop back and I open up TradingView again, and I go into replay mode. And I play the entire day scenario again. And there's days, where obviously I don't have good days, right, where I revenge trade, do something stupid. Now it's more rare because obviously I've kind of like went through all the trials and tribulations of just doing stupid stuff. But you have to understand, like, that doesn't really go away, right? Like you having a tilt day, it just becomes less frequent. And journaling helps in that sense, where you're just mitigating risk as much as possible, right? You're mitigating those crash out events as much as possible. And I still to this day, I still go into TradingView, Market Replay, play through the day scenario again, and then I execute the trade. I execute the trade on Market Replay, and it basically just simulates the experience that I was feeling, right, that I was going through when I was taking the trade in the live market. And what that does is subconsciously, right, let's say it was a day that you take a loss. Maybe you understand it was an avoidable loss, and then in the future you won't take it again. Well, how will that actually register in your mind? When you go into market replay, you take that trade subconsciously. What that does in your mind is, especially if you go, if you're doing this reflection process before going to bed, right? When you're placed in that same or similar scenario in the live markets, the next day, the next week, whatever it may be, you understood, right? You understand that you've taken this trade before, and you understood that it was a loss, right? That it was an improbable trade. So you don't take that trade again. And what does that end up doing? Your win rate increases, you don't lose money, and you don't revenge trade, or you lose the urge to revenge trade, to do something stupid. So that's really what I've been doing since January onwards, and I've been journaling every single trade, like every single trade that I've taken. Even the days that, I crash out and I blow, like 150Ks from Top Step, like I take the time, right, to go into my journal and actually do some self-reflection. That is the most important part in trading, at least for me, and that's what's kept me profitable still, right? It's just all about mitigating the bad events, mitigating risk. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Keyword he said there was self-reflection, right? That takes a major level of self-reflection to journal everything, your emotions before, during, after the trade. And that's something I feel like a lot of people don't really do, is self-reflect. And because they don't want to blame themselves, because it fucking hurts, right? Blaming yourself and admitting that you're wrong and that you fucked up and all this, like. But that's really what it takes to get to the next level. That's what it takes to turn profitable. You have to get real with yourself, bro, and just blame yourself for your problems. You're exactly where you're headed, bro. You're exactly where you I guess it's like, what's the word? It's like you deserve exactly where you're headed at the end of the day. If you guys don't want to self-reflect because it hurts, like, bro, you're gonna stay in the same position and not figure out what you're doing wrong. How can you find a solution to something that you don't know what the problem is? Like, you need to know what the problem is and the root cause of that problem, and then from there it becomes pretty easy to find the solution. But like, finding the root cause of your problem, first of all, identifying the problem and then finding the root cause as to why you're doing it is like 70% of the work, and then 30% is just finding the solution, or making a solution for yourself.
It's just taking action.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, there's also some of you guys as well that know what the problem is, but you guys just choose not to do anything about it because, like you said, right? Because it hurts, right? Yeah. Because like you just don't want to make that change, and you have to realize, obviously the saying "nothing changes if nothing changes," that's where it kind of like stems, right? Like, some of you guys know the problem, but you guys don't want to do anything about it. So why are you expecting anything to change? Exactly. That's just the real basis of it.
Exactly. Tig.
Bro. I mean, he said what's supposed to be said, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's,
Any final
it's
words?
very, huh?
Any like words for the people?
Bro, just don't be emotional when you're in a trade, bro, to be honest. That's why I mentioned risk management, because when you over leverage, it just gets that little dopamine charge, and you just get emotional and you just want to hit TP, and then it goes to stop loss and it just ruins like everything. It just ruins your whole day, when trading shouldn't be affecting your daily base life at all. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's really it. It's yeah, it's nice talk. So, yeah.
Bets, man. All right, guys. I hope this video helped and gave you guys some good guidance. We were just completely winging this, no script or anything like that, just speaking from experience and from the heart. But yeah, if you guys made it to the end, you guys are some real ones. Comment. What should they comment, AB?
What should they comment?
If they made it to the end.
They should comment CERT. Comment CERT.
CERT. CERT.
Comment that if you made it to the end. Make sure to subscribe to Akram.
Yep.
Leave a good comment.
I'll leave their accounts, like their I'll leave their YouTubes in the description, and their TikToks as well. Go shoot them a follow. These guys are funny as fuck, bro. Cool as fuck people. But yeah, expect more trips coming from us soon. We'll definitely be hanging out more. But yeah, go check out their channels. Tig face reveal. So that's you got to start posting on content or on.
Bro.
Yeah. But yeah, go check them out, guys. Leave a like and a comment. Comment CERT if you made it to the end. You're a real one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace.